You know, there's no conspiracy here, folks. Just get your damn vaccine.
There's also studies that have been conducted that show that it's the same whether you get a vaccine or not. Your risk is the same.
New vaccines, new vaccines, new vaccines. These are all about saving lives. And the good news is that as you make those breakthroughs, the population growth in the country goes down. These are all about saving lives.
H1N1 vaccine will be included in the regular flu shot, so roll up your sleeves ASAP.
By the way, did you happen to see the fireball in the sky this morning? A lot of folks apparently did. The Coast Guard and others got reports around 5 o'clock this morning about a big white or green fireball in the sky, and they saw it all the way from Mexico all the way up to Long Beach. The USS Sterett, in fact, the San Diego-based ship, is cruising off San Diego, and the crew saw the fireball fall around 5, as did many of you viewers, of course, who called us here on 10 News. Coast Guard says it was a meteor, and because of the clear skies, we saw it for a long, long way.
It started just before 7 o'clock, and we don't know exactly what has sparked the fire. There was first reports of maybe an aircraft down, but the FAA and San Francisco International Airport has said that they don't have any reports of missing aircraft or any downed aircraft. And as you can see, the flames are being fueled by something. There was a loud explosion being reported by witnesses, and just dozens of homes on fire, several cars on fire in the area, and there's speculation that it may be a high-pressure gas line, but crews right now are just trying to assess how many injuries they have.
News alert and breaking news from the Gulf of Mexico, where there's another incident. We don't exactly know how to characterize it just yet. On an oil rig about 80 miles south of Vermilion Bay off Grand Isle. Coast Guard Commander Sherry Benaissa is on the phone with us right now. What can you tell us? Have your units gotten to the explosion yet?
Good morning, John. Yes, they have. We've launched 7 helicopters and 2 fixed-wing aircraft from a number of different
oil platform fire today makes 2 in 1 week, and the platforms were both owned by the same company. Now, this one was only a small fire. It was a little thing there, and only 2 workers were on the platform. It was about 109 miles south of Lafayette, out there in the Gulf. The fire started just before 9 o'clock this morning. It was quickly put out. Now, that platform was owned by Mariner Energy out of Houston. The company also owns the platform that exploded and caught fire last Thursday. That's when those 13 workers jumped to safety.
With another Enbridge oil spill less than 2 months after a pipe burst in Calhoun County, spilling oil into West Michigan's waterways. It's happened again. This time, it's in Illinois. 24-hour News 8 Leon Hendricks has the breaking details from the live desk. Leon, this is the last thing Enbridge needed.
Absolutely, and quite the surprise. People in a Chicago suburb are now dealing with what we've been facing here in West Michigan, and again, Enbridge is to blame. The spill happened on a line that runs from near Duluth, Minnesota to near Gary, Indiana. The actual spill happened on the west side of Chicago in Romeoville. The leak was noticed around 1 this afternoon. Enbridge says the pipeline was shut down within minutes. Oil covered a road and flowed into a retention pond. Right now, the company isn't sure how much oil actually leaked from the spill site. About 670,000 barrels of oil flow through the pipeline every day.
It was
they are
a
deploying
smelly
booms
sludge
and
that looked like oil and made the holiday weekend a disappointment for some on one Destin beach. BP says it was a seaweed called black algae, but as Channel 3's Laura Hussey found out, some people aren't convinced.
You could see nothing but pitch black water. The waves were almost just sludge, like just rolling in sludge. It was so thick, and it was matting on the shoreline. I would say at least this thick in some places.
It washed in Friday behind the Sterling Sands condominiums in Destin, a smelly black mat, hundreds of yards long and full of trash.
Sunglasses, aluminum cans, also marine life was caught inside there and had died because they couldn't escape.
The property manager called BP but says he got no response.
Friday, I contacted the local BP office and they sent someone out Saturday morning to have a look and do some testing. They say what washed up on the beach was something called black algae, no oil involved.
To many here, that answer is a tough sell.
We all definitely think that it's oil spill related. I mean, there's nothing like this that has ever happened.
Shave ice vendor Lisa Hagan thinks either oil or dispersants somehow created the strange mass.
So you're not convinced that was just black algae?
I've never heard of black algae. I don't even know what black algae is. If there is black algae out there, I've never seen it in Destin or Fort Walton Beach in 40 years. And
thousands of fish are dead at the mouth of a shipping channel, as well as a dead whale that was reported in Venice today. The species include crabs, stingrays, eel, drum, speckled trouts, and redfish. The video you're about to see is not a gravel road. Those are the dead fish. Plaquemines Parish President Billy Nungesser sent these pictures. He says that there is no testing going on to determine if the fish are dead from the oil spill, although the northern Gulf has suffered a persistent dead zone of low oxygen, blamed on nutrient-rich runoff from the Mississippi River. Nungesser says that this is different because usually the kills happen to only one or two species of fish.
We don't even know the long-term effects, but we know they're going to be bad down the road. So everybody down here, no matter if you're parasailing or you're laying by the beach, you're absorbing. There's no cautious way to happily absorb poison.
The conscious decision that was made in the first place was to either save the water column or save the marshes and the estuaries, keep it out of people's eyesight. What they decided to do was sink it.
Didn't realize the bubbles was not sea foam, it was corexit that started activating on it. About 15 minutes after that on the boat, my throat, esophagus was burning so bad, I was almost screaming, and it hurt, and it really hurt bad.
I started noticing this white floating sand bubbles. I mean, it wasn't normal bubbles, but, you know, and you'd go to scoop it up and it spread apart, and then if you put it into a container, it'd go down to the bottom as sand. Something I had never seen in my 61 years on Cotton Bow.
I got deathly sick. I threw up for hours upon hours. Never in my life. I didn't think I was going to make it the next morning.
Don't think that everything is fine, because it's not fine.
Either way the wind blows, we're getting it over here. And I kept wondering why. When I come outside of this climate control house, why my arms started breaking out again when they were clearing up.
But there's one thing I would like to ask BP. They're putting monitors on these life vests. It just started yesterday. Nobody knows what these monitors are. I think they're air monitors to see if the fumes are coming up from the oil, but nobody really knows here what they are. They're not telling nobody. That's what I was saying about being honest and clear.
Enjoy the rest of your summer because we are in for one nasty fall. Welcome, everybody. I'm Neil Cavuto, and here is the deal. Now, I don't know if it will be a September to remember. Probably more like October, we just roll over. Mark it down. I'm telling you, something bad will go down. And I'm not talking some weird Hindenburg theory or the Dow closing below 10,000 again. I'm talking credit rating reality. For the first time in the history of the United States, our credit rating will get a nick. Let me be clear. Sometime in the next few months, you heard me right, months, not years, a credit ratings agency will downgrade U.S. debt. We will lose our AAA credit rating, the highest on the planet.
While thousands of people right here in Northwest Florida are still looking for a job.
Here at Giorgio's Pizza, they're looking to hire workers, and that's a good sign for many people looking for a job. Cassie Kohler applied for a job here and many other places. She's been job hunting for a few months.
We've had a ton of people come over. We have a stack of applications in the office, probably about 200 right now.
The Drizzle Barbecue relocated downtown from West Pensacola a couple months ago. Since then, they've been swamped with applications.
Serving, cooking, prepping, dishwashing. People are looking for jobs to sweep our parking lot right now. That's how desperate they are for jobs.
The city of Miami is so broke, it's forcing employees to take pay cuts even though they're under contract. Miami Mayor Tomas Regalado told me he's never seen a financial mess like this, and his options are grim.
Does anybody know what I hate more than anything? Yeah, I hate the truth. In fact, I hate the truth so much, I prefer a giant dose of bullshit any day over the truth.
Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. It is this feeling